Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited about today's video because we're going to be talking about the new collaboration with Desi and Katy and Dose of Colors. If you guys don't know, they already did a collaboration last year. This is round 2. I wasn't ready for it. I honestly didn't expect it. And I'm so excited about this collection, you guys, and so I knew as soon as I got it, I had to sit down and film a little bit of a tutorial and a review. It's not going to be as in-depth as some of my other like Dose of Colors collection reviews have been. I really want to focus this video on just the tutorial because I feel like there's already videos up with swatches and a lot of in-depth things about the collection as a whole. And so all of those videos that I've watched so far that are really informative, I will go ahead and link down below for you guys if you want to see like swatches and things like that. But yes, this is the box that came in the mail. It's a little bit bright. You can't really see the front. It says Desi Katy on the front, and then inside we have Desi and Katy and the entire collection. This is called like the Friendcation collection, I'm pretty sure. And the thing that I'm most excited about, you guys, is the eyeshadow. This palette, oh my goodness, when I saw it, I knew I had to have it. So here is what it looks like. I mean, come on, look at these colors, you guys. This palette really inspires me, and so I'm excited for you guys to see how I got this look right here. I know it's much more bold than a lot of looks that I do on my channel, but I was very inspired by this palette, and I know a lot of you guys said you wanted to see a tutorial using the blue, and so, you know, I had to use the blue. The packaging on this is just like the collection from last year. It's a little bit darker. Here's the highlighter from last year, so it's a little bit more of like a bronzy sparkle, but the packaging on this is amazing, you guys. Like, I still have the first collection out on display just because it's so beautiful to look at. Not only are they great products, but they're so beautiful. They also brought back 2 products from their old collection, one of them being Over the Top Gloss, which looks like this. It has the gold glitter in it, and then there's also Fuego, which is one of the original highlighters. Here's my old one that I had from last year so you can see what it looks like, and then here's the new one with the new packaging. So the new packaging is slightly darker, but it's the exact same product, and they brought back this highlighter. The highlight is what I'm wearing on my skin today. It's so beautiful. They also launched a new highlighter called Chasing the Sun, which looks like this. It's a little bit more of a bronzy color. I feel like this would work well on medium to deep skin tones. For me today, I only used Fuego just because I know in the past Fuego has been the only one that worked on me, and even then it's a little bit on the edge of being like a little bit too dark. I mean, it still works. So since this one is darker, I did not wear it, but I will go ahead and swatch them next to each other so you guys can see a comparison. If I ever have a tan, this would be beautiful. So here are the 2 swatched next to each other. This one is Fuego. It's much more of a champagne color. This one's a little bit more bronze and a little bit deeper, and that one is called Chasing the Sun. So besides the return of Over the Top Gloss, they also launched 5 other brand new lip colors, which I'm so excited about, and I really appreciate how they're all very wearable. A lot of them you can wear on an everyday basis. They launched a sister to Over the Top Gloss. This is called The Most. There's really beautiful kind of pinky reflex in here. It's a little bit more holographic in my opinion, and I think it's going to be really fun to wear, especially nearing fall and winter. I'm really excited about this gloss. I don't own anything like it in my collection, so I'm very excited to kind of play with that. You can wear these glosses by themselves if you want to, or over top of any lip color. Then they launched 2 new shades of their lipsticks, which they also had last year. So it's the same formula, just new shades, the same packaging, that beautiful kind of soft matte finish. This one is called Hey Girl, and it's more of like a pinky kind of nude color. This is so pretty. I'm very excited to wear this as well. The formula of these are really nice, really long lasting, and kind of like a semi-matte finish, but they're really comfortable. They're not drying, and so I really like that one as well. The deepest lip shade in this collection is called Aftermath, and on me it's a very vampy color. I'm really excited to wear it for fall. It's so crazy. I was watching Alyssa Ashley's review, and on her it was a beautiful like everyday nude. It looked amazing on her. On me it's definitely more vampy, but that just goes to show you how lipsticks can really look different depending on the skin tone that you are. So if you do have a medium or deep skin tone, this may be a really beautiful kind of neutral everyday color. I'll go ahead and link Alyssa Ashley's video down below so you guys can see what I'm talking about. It's a really pretty kind of terracotta brown. I'm excited about this color, and I think it will work on every skin tone. Of course, if you're more fair like me, it's going to look more bold, or it might be more of a neutral everyday color for those of you with a more deeper skin tone. The other 2 colors are brand new formulas. These are liquid velvet lipsticks, which I'm super excited about because I love the liquid lipsticks from Dose of Colors, but a lot of times, especially in fall, my lips tend to be very dry, and so this formula seems to be really nice. This first color is My Main, which is a really pretty kind of yellowy nude. There's not too much yellow in it, but there's definitely a little bit, and I think it's really pretty. I like this one a lot. However, the shade that I'm most excited about, it's the one I have on my lips, is called A Mauve Story. I just truly feel like this is my lips but better, and I'm so excited about it. I'm very excited about this formula. It's extremely comfortable on the lips, and it's meant to be able to kind of reapply right on top of itself if you need to reapply the lipstick, and it won't get crusty or cakey or anything like that. So there's the two next to each other. This is the Mauve Story. This one is my main, and I think that A Mauve Story is definitely something that I'm going to be wearing quite a bit. So that's kind of the overview of the collection. I think it's so beautiful. If you guys want to see how I got this look, just keep on watching, and then at the end I'll kind of give you my overall opinion on the collection, and I'll tell you what my favorite things are in case you want to pick something up from this collection when it launches. So let's get into this tutorial. Alright, so let's get started with this look. I am so excited to play with these products. I'm going to be using the Laura Mercier, what is this? Flawless Fusion Concealer to prep the eyelids. I already did my brows, and I like spent a little bit more time on this, or on my brows I mean. Like I took more time to carve them out with concealer, but I used my usual Benefit Precisely My Brow, and then the MAC Shape and Shade brow tint in the inner parts to make the hair-like strokes. So I'm just going to blend out the concealer initially with a brush just to kind of spread out the product first, and I'm making sure to really drag it a little bit further than usual because I'm wanting to create a more smoky look, I think. And then I'm going to take a sponge and just pat that down. Next, I'm going to go in with my Rimmel Stay Matte Translucent Powder, and I'm going to lock down the concealer with this. Alright, it's time to dip into the Friendcation palette. I'm so excited. We're going to start off with this shade right here. Actually, we're going to go in with this one. I want to try to use as many as possible. This one is called Basic, and I feel like this would be a good kind of all-over lid shade. So, oh wait, maybe it's a little bit deeper. I'm going to just put it through the crease a little bit. Oh, it's kind of like a transition shade on me since I'm so fair. It's a very soft transition, so I'm just going to go ahead and pop that in the crease and a little bit above, and I'm going to build it up a little bit because I like having something here that's a little bit lighter to really help blend the shadows into the eyebrow, you know what I'm saying? So I'm going to bring that in this inner portion here as well, and then kind of drag it outward quite a bit toward the end of the brow. Next, I'm going to take this shade right here called Necessary. I love this name because it's a necessary shade. I think that's really cute. I'm going to tap off the extra and kind of go more toward the actual crease with this one, right underneath where we just applied the other shade. Just going back and forth and then bringing it downward here and really kind of pulling it out toward the end of the brow. I'm going to clean up this area later, but I really just want to make sure it's nice and blown out. Next, I'm going to take this shade right here, which is the darkest matte shade in the palette. This is called Cheens. I'm going to take some of that on a brush, tap off the extra, and this one I want to bring a little bit lower than the crease at first so that I can build it up to the crease, if that makes sense. I haven't added any more product onto the brush. I'm just blending this back and forth and really buffing it out. I'm taking a mixture of Basic and Necessary and just kind of buffing this lightly over top of the edge here because I really want a nice gradient. Going back into Cheens, I'm just gonna kind of keep building this up and outward a little bit. Then I'm going to switch brushes again and go back over that just to make sure it's really nice and smooth and blended out. So this looks like a disaster right now, but we're going to clean up the edges in just a second. I'm going to go ahead and go into this gorgeous blue purple shade. This is called A Moment, and I'm going to take this on my finger. This is going to be our main color, so I'm going to go ahead and just start to apply this all over the lid. Oh my gosh, this is so beautiful. And I'm applying it to like the first 2/3 of the eye, I would say. Oh my gosh, when you apply it, and especially under my lights, you can really see that purple flip. And I'm just going to keep on building this until it's pretty vibrant. I'm going to take a little bit of this on a fluffy brush just to kind of help blend it into the matte shades a little bit more. But the main focus is going to be closer to the lash line. Then I'm going to take this shade right here called Game Over, which is such a unique, deep, sparkly black. And I'm going to take some of this on a brush first. Tap off the extra, and this is what we're going to use to kind of define this outer portion of the eye. So I'm kind of stamping the shadow on that outer portion first, and then blending it in slightly. And I'm really taking my time to make sure that everything is blended, that these edges look nice. Again, I'm not too worried about it going over the line this way because we will clean that up, but I do want a good general shape. I'm gonna go back into the blue and kind of add some more. I'm obsessed with this color. It's so good. I love how there's a purple shift. I don't know if my lights are catching it as well as it is in real life, but it's seriously so pretty. All right, I'm gonna take my makeup wipe and I'm gonna create a little bit of a different shape. I'm gonna keep the lower lash line shadows in mind so that it all can connect later. And I'm not gonna angle it up as much as I usually do. I'm just gonna kind of press down the edges with my finger and then make sure there's not too much fallout underneath the eyes. So I do think I'm gonna do a black liner. I'm gonna use the Smashbox Always On Liquid Liner. And I honestly just want this very close to the lash line to just define it. So I didn't even bring the eyeliner out very far. I just stopped it at the edge of my lashes. And I did make sure to bring it into this inner corner here. Let's put on a little bit of mascara on the top lashes. I do think I'm gonna use false lashes for this look because it is so bold. And I just feel like it goes with the vibe. So I'm gonna use the By Terry Lash Expert Twist Brush Mascara, which I absolutely love. You can customize the wand and I like to have it twisted. I just feel like that gives me the most volume. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply this to just the top lashes. All right, so moving on to the complexion, I'm gonna take my Physicians Formula Spotlight Illuminating Primer. I'm just gonna warm it up in my hands first, and then I'm gonna focus it on the high points of the face. I usually do end up bringing it all over the face. I'm going to be careful not to ruin my eyeshadow over here. But I like to kind of focus most of the product on the T-zone, even on the center, just to help highlight the high points of my face. My skin's a little bit dry right now, so we'll see how this goes. I'm going to use the Physicians Formula Healthy Foundation. This has been a current favorite foundation from the drugstore. Well, I have like quite a few favorites at the drugstore right now. This is definitely one of them. And I'm going to give myself a little bit more coverage than I normally do with this foundation just because it's such a glam look. I'm going to go all out, so I'm just going to go ahead and kind of paint that all over the face. I'm going to first blend it out with my IT Cosmetics Heavenly Luxe brush just to kind of evenly distribute the product all over the face first. I'm just taking some of the foundation and applying it directly to the sponge. And then I'm just going to go ahead and go over the entire face with the sponge to just give it more of a skin-like finish. I'm going to be taking the First Aid Beauty Hello Fab Bendy Avocado Concealer. And I'm just going to use this to spot conceal any areas that I need a little bit more help. I'm going to go ahead and blend that out on the complexion with the same sponge. And then for under the eyes, I'm going to be using the same Laura Mercier Flawless Fusion Concealer. Since we're using blues and purples kind of, it's really important to conceal the under eye area pretty well. If not, it can kind of accentuate any dark circles you have. So I'm going to put it under the eyes, down the center of the face, and then we're going to blend that out as well with that same sponge. And I love this sponge because I can really get into the inner corner of my eyes, around my nose, and I can be really precise against edges like this on my eyeshadow. So next I'm going to be setting the under eyes with the Filtered Effects Soft Focus HD Setting Powder from Thrive Cosmetics. This is so beautiful for under the eyes because it just really has a gorgeous blurring effect. So I'm going to go ahead and apply a pretty generous amount underneath the eye area. I'm also going to set the rest of the face with this powder. It looks like I missed some concealer. Not sure how long that was there. Sorry about that if you saw that. Now we can set that, okay? All right, let's move back to the eyes. I'm going to go into that same shade that we started with called Basic. And I'm really just going to start shaping out that lower lash line. And I'm blending it out toward the edge of this area here, as well as pretty low underneath the lower lash line. All right, I'm going to take the blue shade on a little bit more of a dense brush. And I'm just going to really start to work this really close against the lower lashes. I'm starting off with it pretty thin in this inner corner. And as we get closer to this outer portion of the eye, I'm letting it come down a little bit more. The idea is to connect that shape together. So then I'm going to dip into the black shimmery shade called Gameover. I'm just going to use the same brush. Tap off the extra and really start to buff this on the outer portion of the eye, starting closest to the lash line and then buffing it downward and connecting it to that kind of wing we have going on. So now I'm taking the shade Necessary on a small smudger brush, kind of running it across the same area just to kind of create that same gradient we have up here on this lower portion of the lash line. Then I'm taking Cheens, which was the darkest brown, and I'm taking that closer to the lash line on the outer portion just to kind of deepen that up a little bit. And then I'm going back and layering Gameover on top. And then I'm going to take the blue shade again called A Moment, and I'm just going to run this across the lash line again. Just because we lost a little bit of the pigment layering so many shadows, I don't want to lose that blue along this area here. So I'm just going to keep applying it right about here. So now I'm going to be mixing this shade and this pretty gold shade down here called Just a Kiss, and I want a little bit more of the Just a Kiss shade so that we can start to create a gradient toward the inner corner here. I'm just going to pop that in this inner corner. I'm going to do the same thing on this very inner corner on the lower lash line too. And then I'm going to wipe off the brush a little bit. And now I'm just going to go in with Just a Kiss, which is that beautiful champagne glitter shade. We might need to wet the brush, maybe not. Oh, that is so beautiful. And this is what we're going to use in our inner corner. I'm going to take a clean eyeshadow brush and dip it right into the translucent powder that we used. I'm going to tap off the extra and then just kind of use this to really clean up the edges on the lower lash line a little bit more. Make sure they're nice and blended. So I just found this eyeliner from Urban Decay in the shade LSD, and I think it's a really nice match to what we have going on here. So I'm just going to sharpen it really quick, and we're going to throw this in the waterline. This is super pretty, and it has a lot of the same color glitter that's in that blue. So I think it matches really nicely. This is so bold, you guys. I'm going to go in with mascara really quickly, and I'm going to untwist it because I like to use the straight one on the lower lashes. And we're just going to apply this really quickly to the lower lashes. And to me, this look requires some false lashes. I'm going to take the Velour Mink lashes in the style Serendipity. I've still got some glue on it from the last time I used them, but we're gonna make them work. So I'm just gonna take some Thrive Cosmetics lash glue, and I'm gonna pop these on off camera, and I'll be right back. All right, so before I go crazy, I'm gonna go ahead and remove the foundation on my lips, and I'm ready to add some life into the face, my friends. I'm gonna take my Thrive Cosmetics Ray Bronzer, and I'm really gonna warm up the skin because we have such a deep eye on. This will really help bring life back to the face. I'm taking this on a little bit more of a fluffy brush, just around the perimeters of the face, into the hairline a little bit, especially since my hair is up, a little bit along the jawline, and then some down the neck. I'm also taking a little bit of a smaller brush just to kind of contour the nose a little bit, as well as underneath the lip just to make it look more pouty. I'm also going to take a little bit of bronzer and just pat it across the center of the face. So I'm actually going to go into highlighter next. I'm going to take Fuego, which is the highlighter that they also had in the collection they came out with last year, and I'm just going to go ahead and apply this to the high points of the face. It has been a very long time since I've used this. I'm excited to put it on my cheeks again. I'm just really building that up on the high points of the face. It's so pretty. So I forgot to bring an affordable blush over here. I meant to use one. Any sort of neutral blush is going to work. I'm going to dip into my NARS palette though and go into this shade right here. I'm just going to add that to the apples of the cheeks and kind of blend it back toward the temples. I'm also going to take some of that and put it across the nose. Alright, so before we do lip colors, I'm just going to go ahead and set the face. I'm going to use the Smashbox Primer Water. This was the limited edition Serene Green scent, but just the original one works as well. Let's make sure that we have everything as we want it. A little more bronzer along the forehead. Alright, and now I'm just going to spray the face with this. And then take my handy fan. Press that into the skin lightly with my sponge. And then I'm going to take my Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray and just kind of lock it in. Same thing with the fan. And then I'm going to take my Rimmel Stay Matte Powder and just kind of press that into the areas that I don't want shine. So around my mouth, in the center of the forehead usually, right about here, around the nose. Sometimes on the tip of the nose as well. So now I have a lip color on because I just filmed the swatch portion of the video that you guys saw earlier. And I love how a Mauve Story looks with this eye look. I think this is one of my new favorite lip colors. For me, it's literally like my lips but better. And I'm so excited about it. I feel like I'm gonna be reaching for this so much. It is a little bit mauve-y, but there's also enough pink in it that for me, it's a very great everyday kind of color. And I'm very excited about that. So there you have it. That completes this tutorial. I know it's much more bold than what I normally do, but I wanted to create something that was more bold because these colors are so fun, and obviously there are colors in here where you can make something bronzy and ethereal and even an everyday look using all the mattes. So I really wanted to do something that was a little bit out there. So I hope you guys like this look as much as I do. I definitely think it turned out better than I expected. So that completes the tutorial portion of this video. Let's move into my thoughts about this collection. Alright you guys, so the collection overall, I have to say, it's beautiful. It's so pretty. The packaging packaging itself is just so unique, so different. It looks so luxe. It's something that you definitely want to keep displayed out on your vanity, and it's insane. I love glittery things, so this is definitely eye-catching for me. The eyeshadow palette, you guys, is stunning. It's so beautiful. If you're like me and you're into glittery eyeshadows especially, like I've been obsessed with glittery eyeshadows, and I'm so excited that there's kind of a topper. Yeah, this shade right here called Just a Kiss is kind of more of like a lid topper. I didn't use it in this tutorial, but that's kind of what I've been wearing on an everyday basis. I'll just do something really light in the crease and then, you know, just tap it on the inner 2/3 of my eye and pop on mascara, and that's kind of like my go-to eye look right now with different glitters that I own. So I really like that I can create my kind of signature go-to look right now in this palette in a way. I also think you could make a full-on look with just the mattes if you wanted to for every single day. And then if you have somewhere fun to go, these 3 shades, oh my goodness, even this shade, so beautiful, so beautiful. So I would definitely recommend this palette if you want to support Desi and Katy, and if you are somebody who is into kind of a more foiled glitter eyeshadow look and you want to play around with some more colors. I feel like this is easy to work with. I feel like you can make so many different looks with this. I'm obsessed, and the packaging again is amazing. If you didn't get a chance to pick up Fuego highlighter last time, I definitely would recommend this. I think it's beautiful, and it just kind of melts into the skin and gives a really nice champagne kind of gold reflect. So for me, I love that. As far as lip colors go, to be honest, I feel like they're all beautiful, but if there's one that I really love, it's a Mauve Story. That's the one I have on my lips right now. And if I were to just purchase one, it would be this one, because literally it's my lips but better. I really love this. I really appreciate how they launched a bunch of nude tones in different formulas. I feel like they're all very wearable. And even though you guys know I love a good bold lip, like I love berries and reds and corals, I think it's nice that they stuck to neutrals because that is so Desi and Katy. If you guys know them, I feel like they always are wearing neutral lips most of the time, and I feel like the rest of us are like that as well. On an everyday basis, we're usually wearing, you know, neutral lips. So I really do like that about the collection. But yeah, again, a Mauve Story is my favorite one for sure. And then maybe Hey Girl is my second favorite shade. So those are like my top picks. Obviously the entire collection is gorgeous, but if I were to recommend something to you based off of what I really enjoyed and based off of what looks best on my skin tone, those are the things that I really love. So there you have it, you guys. That completes my video. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial and my little mini review and kind of overview on this collection. Congratulations to Desi and Katy for another amazing collection. You guys, this time this will be in Ulta. When they launched last year, Dose of Colors was not in Ulta yet, I believe. So it's going to be so cool to see a display in Ulta. I can't wait for that. It'll also be available on ulta.com. I'll have all the details in the description box. It's also obviously going to be available on doseofcolors.com. So yeah, if you guys want any more information on this collection, it'll be in the description box as always. If you're new here, I would love to have you on board. Please join the family by hitting the subscribe button. And if you guys want to be notified every single time I post on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, click on the bell after you subscribe and you'll get a notification every single time I upload. That's all I have for you guys today. I hope you have an amazing weekend, and I will see you all in my next video. Love you. Bye!